Welcome back to my little channel. Today I want to make a small little video about anti-vaxxers and whether anti-vaxxers are evil or just misunderstood. Now don't get me wrong, I myself am in favor of vaccinations. But at the same time I have to admit, I live in the Netherlands and not in the United States of America. Now why do I mention that? Because when I look at what vaccinations are, I see something different than what the people in America see. Well, that's unfair, because vaccinations are the same over there as they are over here. Yeah, no, not really. So how are they not the same? The amount of vaccinations given to a child in the first year in America is roughly the same amount of vaccinations given to a toddler in the Netherlands in basically 4 years. And that is a problem. Why is that a problem? Because when you vaccinate a kid, you're going to give it a little bit of the disease in itself. It's dead, it's not a big issue, but the body needs time to deal with it. It needs to adjust to it. It needs to clean itself up. So, if we look at it in the Netherlands, the first injection is given within the first few weeks of its life, well, between 6 and 9 weeks. And the next one is at 3 months, and then another one at 4, another one at 11, and then one at 14, and then one at 4 years old, and then one at 9 years, and then, if you're a girl, 12, 13 years old. You're not getting that many vaccines. Now, if I look at the amount of vaccines given to a toddler in America, they get as many injections in the first, let's say, 4 months as they get in the Netherlands in total. There's something seriously wrong with that, because the body needs time to adjust to what is happening to it. I'm not going to say that there is validity to the stories of, well, there's heavy metals in the injections. To begin with, I can't claim whether this is true or not. And even if it were true or not, that doesn't inherently mean anything, because having a small amount of heavy metals isn't automatically a huge problem. It all depends on the amount. It goes too deep. This is not what I want to go into. Is it true that they may or may not contain heavy metals? It may be true. I don't know. So I can't go into that one too much. But what I do know is that in America, the amount of vaccines given in a short period of time will, or at least can, and in some points have, overwhelmed the immune system. Haha! See? Therefore it's true that vaccines cause autism. No, they don't. Or at least they shouldn't. And how do I know that? Well, I've worked with people with autism for nearly all of my adult life. Kids with autism have at least one parent with autism. It's as simple as that. Now, if you can show me how a vaccine given to a child can affect the biology of the parent, then maybe you have a point. But as long as you can't, it's useless to say that vaccines cause autism. But at the same time, it draws away from the true problem that vaccines in America do cause. Because there are kids that swell up or have allergic reactions, and this in itself isn't that weird, but if you then look at the amount of vaccines given in a short period of time, you are stressing the infant's body. I have to admit that I don't understand American healthcare to begin with, because the acceptance of genital mutilations for boys also goes beyond anything that I find reasonable. I mean, if you want to do it because of your religion, then yeah, you know what? I still think it's stupid. But in America, they do it because the doctors suggest you should. And that doesn't make any sense to me. So there are plenty of questions that we need to ask about our healthcare professionals. And indeed, this is true with the anti-vaxxer movement. I disagree with their reasoning. Well, no, vaccine is bad because it causes autism. Yeah, I disagree with that. But at the same time, I have to admit that merely looking at their vaccination schedule, and this is from the CDC, I mean, I didn't make it up. If we just look at that, we are overwhelming the infant's body with medication. And I don't understand whoever thought that would be a good idea. Anyway, I have been talking for quite a while, and this is where I'm going to call it quits. I'd like to thank Elicia Clegg because I didn't think she were an anti-vaxxer, but we did have a talk about it. And where I still think vaccinating your children is a good idea, I am no longer going to complain about the people in America that don't want to vaccinate their children, because I can recognize that there's a problem with their program. It's weird though, because I am in favor of vaccinations, but I do recognize that a child needs the time to recuperate from each and every vaccine. I'm not quite sure what happened that the Netherlands only gives a handful of vaccines throughout the first 4 years, and in America the kids get more vaccines in their first year. I don't understand this. I'm not going to claim that people should vaccinate their children. I think people should make up their own mind. But I do say that if you're in Europe or in the Netherlands, yeah, don't come with the same arguments as people in America, because we don't have the same situation. We don't have the same problems. And I know there are doctors out there and fake doctors out there that want to capitalize on all this. Will tell you that vitamins will do just as good as vaccines. Don't believe the bullshit. I mean, if you're not going to vaccinate your children, you know what? Have measles parties, but be damn sure already that it's going to be hard for your child, because measles and the other things that you get vaccinated for, they can turn out to be lethal. But you can survive them. I mean, don't get me wrong, our overall healthcare now is a lot better than it was 40 years ago. It's double. I mean, I still think you should vaccinate your kids again against measles, but at the same time, seeing what America has done with its vaccination program, I can understand why people don't. At the same time, though, if people in Europe start bringing the whole, oh yeah, but autism bullshit, no, we cannot use the same arguments to be against vaccinations as the people in America do, because we don't have the same program. And yes, there are doctors out there that will scare you and that will try to get you to sell their type of bullshit. Don't fall for it. Read up on stuff. Educate yourself. Anyway, this is my rant. I'd like to thank Elicia Clegg for having an open discussion with me on the topic. And I hoped I portrayed what I said then and what I think is the issue. I hope I portrayed it well, and I hope it'll make people think. I'll not soon be negative to someone just because he's an anti-vaxxer, especially in America. Because considering the American system, I'm not sure if I would be in favor of vaccinating my kid. Anyway, I hope to see you all next time.